Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. We're here at A&S Motorcycles in Sacramento, California, and today I am on this beautiful Ducati 1260 Enduro model. The Multistrada we've been on before, but we haven't been on the Enduro model. You have seen that I've been on the BMW Enduro, the 1250, and I've also been on the Tiger 1200 Enduro. But today we're going to be on the Ducati, so go ahead and take a look around the bike. I'm going to get geared up, and we'll see you back here momentarily. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. A&S Motorcycles. We have two less bikes for review. If you haven't seen them, they may be up already. If not, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I just came off of the Tiger 1200 Scrambler. See it over there. Bogner just came off the Ducati, and we're flip-flopping. I'm going to be on a Ducati now. She's going to be on a Triumph, but we have gone adventure bike. And I want to tell you guys, please, please, please get on and watch Bogner's review on this, because let's see her get on this bike. Babe, can you get on? Because I really want to emphasize and show you, she's flat-footing this thing. This is the low. And you guys know adventure bikes. These things are tall, tall, tall. So I got to figure out how to get on this thing. Whoa, what a big boy. So Bogner's on the XRX 800. I'm on the Multistrada 1260. I gotta figure out the turn on. So we've got it on. We're down here. Up. Oh, you gotta turn it on, then click it up, and then fancy ignition. All right, so I've been waiting to do the Multistrada Enduro. The reason is because I've been on the BMW GS and I've been on the Tiger, and so now we get the fancy. This thing sounds neat. All right, so we got a lot to go through on this bike today. A lot to go through. There's a lot of menus, there's a lot of goodies, there's a lot of stuff on this bike. So if you guys are looking for one, I am going to try to do my best to get through everything on this bike. But let's talk about the display. The Ducati display, absolutely gorgeous. I love it. If you guys didn't see that Triumph Scrambler review, go on there and look at that display. I would say it's probably the best designed display. But Triumph Ducati and BMW have a beautiful, big, beautiful TFT display. I really like the Ducati one. But that 2020 BMW S1000 and the 2019 GS is also a beautiful display. So very nice display, easy to read, easy to understand that we're in second gear. It's highlighted. And we've got a nice speed shifter. God, I'm just in luxe right now. I feel like I'm just luxury. Talk about vibration, it's there, and it's a lot. It is a Ducati vibrating bike. So you can see in the mirrors, we have a lot of vibration in the seat, in the pegs, in the feet, in the handlebars. So if you want a bike that doesn't vibrate, this is not going to be the bike for you. But if you don't mind it, look, I think it's something that a lot of people get over. So I don't mind it. Big old 1260 Ducati motor with some great electronics on it. So over here we've got our ignition, we've got our heated hand grips, and we have our start and stop and locking over on the right hand bar. Brakes, beautiful brakes, Brembo Master, Brembo fronts, awesome Brembo system. And over here to the left, the cluster of, oh my God, what has happened? So obviously we've got our blinkers, we have our horn blinkers, horn, hazards, and we have our fog lights up front. That's nice. Got nice fog lights up front. And we have our high beam switch. And then over to the left we have our cruise control system. And then we have our menu button. And we have our menu button, which we will be going through for the next 5 minutes. So a quick menu up and down is going to scroll you through the TFT menu. Our range, 77 miles, fuel consumption, tripometer, trip time, average speed, tripometer 2, consumption, air temperature 91 degrees, and then back to our menu setting. Now, if we hit the menu button over, we're going to be in our sport or our touring, urban, or enduro mode. So let's go ahead into enduro, close throttle, and we are now in our enduro mode. Wow, what a chop of throttle. That just killed the throttle. But I bet we've got our low end torque now, which is going to be very good for the enduro, the off-road. We don't want to have a lot of horsepower in the enduro mode, clearly, because we don't want to be spinning our tires. So that's very nice. And then, so people that are coming over from the 2020 BMW and my complaint about changing this stuff over here to the right, I love that I can go menu, hold it over, and I can go over, oh, release the brake, it's yelling at me. So what's nice is that while we're on the fly, obviously I was on the brake, the throttle was closed, too many, you know, but let's get around this corner. And menu button over, close throttle. Up, that's our enduro mode again. So if I wasn't mistaken, so I know that there's a way to change these settings, and maybe, just maybe, it cannot be done in while you're on the road on this one. I know the Ducati, the V4, you are able to go in there and make some changes. And this one, yeah. This one we're not able to get in there. I don't know how. Apologize. But let's get back into our street modes and let's go into our sport mode. Close the throttle, come back on, and there we go. You can hear the intake open up on that sport mode. Very, very nice. So the windscreen, adjustable manually right there in the middle. So we just pinch that. So we're all the way up, which is nice. Hopefully you guys are catching the wind noise and seeing that the wind noise is fairly low. I could use a little bit more windscreen. I would like it just to be a little bit up, just a little bit higher in full up mode. But full low mode, you can see, and you should be able to catch that wind noise picks back up. So we'll pull it back up. So the the shifter, it's kind of at an angle. So my foot, where it rests on the peg, and I go to hit the shifter and there's no shifter, I actually have to point my toe in to shift. A little bit crazy. See that? So my foot is just, I don't know if it's just my foot, but where it's comfortable on the pegs, when I go to shift, it just misses everything. So kind of a little bit interesting. mirror's a little hard to adjust. But this thing's got some balls. I'll tell you that. Wonderful on the electronics, the speed shifter. A little bit clicky, a little bit hard, but not bad. But it is definitely not a sport bike speed shifter. So menu over, no, menu over. I know that there's a way to change these settings. All right. And last thing that we will go into is if we push and hold the menu button down, this is going to get us into our rider suspension mode. We're in sport mode and we're in single rider. But if we scroll down, single rider with baggage, dual riders, or dual riders with baggage, which should soften things up. So let's go ahead and change that suspension. So now we should be a bit softer on the suspension because we've got softer. Let me think about this here. It would be harder. It would be harder because it thinks that there's more there. So I believe that's correct. So push and hold. And let's go single rider with baggage, enter. Oh yeah, so much softer. So you could feel, I mean, it was pretty dang hard there a minute ago. So much softer. So if you guys are looking for a little bit more sport, a little bit more back roads, you want a little bit harder suspension, as a general, on the BMWs, I know people would typically say that we're in a two-rider position because it's going to stiffen it up and it's going to make the suspension perform a little bit better on the twisties. But here in the city, you know, let's keep it nice and plush. So sitting position, not bad at all. I don't mind it. Pretty upright, so that's nice. I'm not stretched out. I feel like my elbows are in a good position. My knees are in a very good position. The tank is very, very wide. So here in a second, when we get a green light go. Can't believe the Bogness is sitting on that Tiger and flat-footing that thing. Okay, so see the tank. If you guys can see my knees are very well sitting inside the tank, very comfortably. Now, if I raise my knees up, I hit the top of the top here. But where they're sitting right now, very comfortable, and I'm kind of on my tiptoes on the pegs. Tiptoes on the pegs. Flat foot on the pegs. Very nice, very comfortable tank. So the vibration, it would get to me. I wouldn't like the vibration personally. So if you're not a vibrating guy, then like I said at the beginning of the video, this has got some vibration. So make sure you guys know that if you guys are looking for this bike. It's got some vibration. And it's big. It's a big boy. Now I rode the Multistrada non-enduro, the just basically the general Multistrada, and you know, it was nice. It was a very nice bike for like around town. This is not, I mean, this is, I need to go somewhere on this bike. This bike has got to go somewhere. You know, this is not going to be an around the town bike. This bike is going to be on the freeway, on the enduro, on the dirt. Let's get on the freeway, guys, and let's see. So vibration, 5,000 RPMs, nice vibration in the butt. And you can just see suspension vibration just everywhere. The brakes, The mirrors, just vibration absolutely everywhere. So it will be my chief complaint. But outside that, you know, we got the cruise control set. Let's throw this in the softest mode we can, single rider, which softened up the suspension just a bit. That's nice. And then let's go up, let's go down, and let's watch this two rider with a, let's watch this stiffen up. And you can see the bike stiffen right there, and it's already stiff. So unlike, so it's hard. It's very hard. Now, unlike the Triumph, I did like the Triumph's suspension settings very much, because it was kind of like hard, soft, or medium, right? And this is kind of a guessing game. Now we're back in single rider, and you can see this thing is really kind of plushed out on the suspension. So single rider, suspension, plush, soft. And then if you want to harden up the suspension, two up with some baggage, and you've got a little bit harder suspension. So cruise control is nice, throttle off, just like the BMW and Triumph. Now I didn't know that was a standard, and it's becoming a standard, so apologize for my ignorance. But if you are on the cruise control and you do throttle off, it does shut the throttle, the cruise control off. So that's kind of a nice safety feature. You don't have to grab brakes, you don't have to grab the clutch. But I'm going to get over here and show you guys Bogna, if I can. Oh, I think we're going to make this light, maybe. So it's crazy with that Triumph that Bogna's on. If you guys haven't seen that review, head over there if you guys want a lower bike. She's 5'6", and she's flat footing that thing. There's no way that she would even be able to touch the pegs on this thing. So let's take the vibration complaint out, because that's my only complaint about the bike. The power delivery, wonderful on this. I could have used a little bit smoother quick shifter, but it's not bad. I've ridden worse. The display's gorgeous, a little bit going on, but once you can decipher what you need and where you need it, it's a very good layout display. Yeah, I mean, I'll give this thing a good, if you're looking for an Enduro, it's a decent bike. I'll give you my personal. I enjoyed the Triumph 1200 better than this. Sorry to poop on this one, but it's my honest opinion. I really did like that Triumph 1200 XCX, XRX, XRT. I really enjoyed that bike, and I enjoy this bike too. This is just a big bike, though. This is a very big bike. So understand that if you're looking for the Enduro. I mean, if you're looking for an Enduro, you know every single Enduro bike is big. I would put this and the 1250, the GS 1250, in the top two for size. I like the Tiger because it was a bit smaller. As far as like the width and the girth of this thing, it's just such a massive bike. But if you're used to a Triumph, if you're used to a BMW GS, this is going to be a good bike for you. You're gonna fit very well onto this. The RT motor, it's going to definitely give you a little bit of that vibration, a little bit of that rocking. This is an inline, so you're not going to get that rocking feel like you're used to with the GS. But look how cool that is to see Bogna sitting so low on that thing. It's such a big bike and such a little girl. I think she's enjoying it. maybe dual Triumphs in our garage. So not too bad. Acceleration and brake for our final time, and in we go. All right, so where are we at with this thing? Where are we at? So I like it. I do. It's big. Let's actually, this is great because we've got, go ahead and turn this off, and go ahead and turn this off, and go ahead and get the kickstand down. And I'm going to give you a really good, although it's not bagged up, a very good kind of side by side. Let's see, make sure we can get the 1260 Triumph, or the Ducati 1260 Enduro, and the HP GS 1250 from BMW. So size, you know, they're very, very close, but this was nice, and I didn't really feel the bags. I forgot the bags were on the back, but this is a good looking bike. And I'll say, I really like the color of this bike. I really do. So there you go. So if you guys are looking for an Enduro Multistrada, this particular one, they are giving this thing away. If you guys are looking for one and you see, you have to call Randy and get a price for this, because I don't know the exact price, but I know that this is a final discontinued or a discounted price. So if you guys are looking for a nice Enduro, give Randy a call. But look at that. I enjoyed it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. Leave me a comment down below if you've got any questions on the Enduro that I didn't cover. I can definitely get you guys covered up. But and of course, as always, if you guys are here in Sacramento, come see A&S. They're great people. Till next video, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.